stand here before you not as a prophet, but as a humble servant of you, the people.
It's been 30 years since South Africa embraced democracy, which was celebrated as a triumph for its people. But the country's reputation is now tarnished by unfulfilled promises, the decay of essential institutions and infrastructure, widespread corruption, and a glaring absence of accountability. With the 2024 general elections approaching, there's a keen focus on examining the electoral system, recognizing its critical role in shaping the country's future.
Currently, at the national and provincial levels, South Africa has an electoral system called proportional representation. So this simply means that the amount of representation parties get in parliament or provincial legislatures corresponds to the vote share that they get in elections.
Every DG was a white male in 1994.
That they are jailed for contempt of court.
It does provide, potential avenues for a greater diversity of voices represented in parliament.
This works in the favor of smaller political parties and parties that are usually are representing underrepresented groups, like women, for example.
On the other hand, it does mean that most MPs and most provincial legislature members are not directly accountable to the public themselves, rather they're accountable to political parties.
Because we would vote based on a candidate that is put forward by the political party. So voters don't really have as much control over who gets elected as a member of parliament, and so there's less direct accountability between the voter and the member of parliament.
Notably, independent candidates, unaffiliated with political parties, will have the opportunity to participate in both the national and provincial elections for the first time during South Africa's upcoming elections.
Voters will be able to actually know the names of people who will be representing them in parliament. So this means that you're able to better hold those members of parliament accountable. But I think it will also help ensure that political parties themselves are actually able to, that are more transparent with who they are nominating, because there'll now be pressure from the independent candidates.
South Africa's party-focused politics poses challenges for independents who have to navigate without party support. To be effective in parliament, independents must establish relationships and coalitions. Given the country's history of struggling to form effective coalition governments at the municipal level and the likelihood of no party securing a 51% win in the upcoming election, a coalition government appears inevitable.
Within a coalition government, accountability will need to come from making sure that there is actually the agreements of coalitions between the political parties are made public. And that whole process from what things are they agreeing to are also made public so that everything is transparent. Because I think one of the biggest limitations of coalitions currently is that these type of agreements are not made public, and more than that, the process on how these political parties reach these agreements are also done behind closed doors, which limits the amount of transparency and accountability, especially amongst the voter base for those political parties.
The vote is a citizen's superpower, but ensuring accountability demands continuous engagement between elections.